Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from Politico. Now this is written by Kyle Cheney and it was published on February 28th. Nadler seeks interviews with prosecutors who quit Roger Stone case. These circumstances are deeply troubling, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler writes. They are so desperate that they're going to bring in these members of the DOJ that quit because they got called out for their bullshit and think it's going to help them. See, they're going to do these secret closed door interviews. They're not going to have it out in front of Congress. You're going to have Nadler talking out his ass. You know, he's going to be like Shifty Schiff, and he's basically going to make shit up. And they're going to go, see, we got proof. We got to take Trump down again. We got to impeach him. Or they're going to claim that they got proof. They're never going to have congressional hearings because they don't want this out in Congress. I say, if we're going to interview these people, all the people he wants, let's bring them in front of a congressional hearing, a public hearing. And let the American people hear both sides of the aisle of the false left-right paradigm questioning them. That's the right thing to do if you're gonna interview them. It should be in front of Congress and it should be with them under oath and testifying. But see, they're not going to do that. They want to keep this as secret and as closed door as possible so they can try to twist and manipulate it to try to use to go against Trump. Anyway, House Democrats are seeking interviews with the four career prosecutors who quit the case of Roger Stone, a longtime confidant of President Donald Trump, after Trump and the Justice Department leaders intervened to demand a lighter jail sentence. Now, excuse me, this is complete revisionist bullshit here. Trump didn't intervene. He literally made a tweet on fucking Twitter. That's not intervening. He didn't go and say, hey, you do this, number one. Number two, it was an overstep of the authority in a corrupt trial with a jury foreman, okay, who was biased as all friggin' hell, who wanted to hang Roger Stone, with a judge who was an Obama appointee who, put Manafort in like solitary, did all this really shady shit involving anyone who's associated with Trump and should not be overseeing any case that involves the president. She should actually be like, talk about impeachment. She should be impeached for her actions. And they want to seriously try to make this sound like, because Barr went, no, you're being all crooked fucking pieces of shit here. It's so friggin' obvious that even JoJo the idiot circus boy can see it. You're going to back the fuck off and you're going to play legit. And they didn't like it and they spurred out and quit. You think that benefits the left? No. It shows how corrupt the prosecution of Roger Stone was. How corrupt the hearing, the judicial process was as well. What Barr did was right to say, hey, you're not getting 9 years on that. That's like what we reserve for murderers. The average sentence is this much. Go for the average sentence. And they went, no. He said, you're going to do it. And they went, well, fuck you, I quit. And you think that benefits the left? No, it doesn't. Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler requested the interviews in a Friday letter to Attorney General William Barr that also included broader demands for documents and testimony about allegations of political interference by Trump in the work of the Justice Department. You know what gets me is about that? They try to act like, well, Trump is interfering. Really? The Democrat, poster child, John F. Kennedy, would tell Bobby, as the head of, how do I put this? Law enforcement agent just under the president, okay? As the Attorney General, he would tell Bobby to jump, and Bobby would say, how high? He'd say, Bobby, you do this, and Bobby would be like, okay. Bobby, investigate the CIA. Okay. Now, if a president does that, it's a no-no because it's Trump. And Trump didn't even do that. He literally made a fucking tweet. I mean, this is such horse shit. It's not even funny. They're so desperate. Well, you know what? You want to interview those people? Let's have a big, wide open, televised congressional hearing where they're all under oath and they all have to testify and both sides can question them. do that, I'm fine, because you know what? I'm going to grab the popcorn, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to relax, and I'm going to watch you Democrats hang yourself with these people, because you won't be able to pull the shit that you want to pull. But anyway, Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler, I started this, but I'm going to finish the whole thing, the whole specific long big sentence, requested the interviews in a Friday letter to Attorney General William Barr that also included broader demands for documents and testimony about allegations of political interference. I already read this whole thing, but I just want to reread it. I apologize. Interference by Trump in the work of the Justice Department. They're laying out a case with this, that, interfering. Telling them to do their fucking job is interfering. Okay. In the letter, Nadler seeks access to a long list of Justice Department officials who oversaw matters involving associates of the president, like former Trump campaign National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, or who were tapped by Barr to review cases Trump has openly criticized. See, they're desperate. They want to go and attack the people that are questioning the railroading, rigged bullshit where they nailed Trump associates. Now, Manafort, mind you, Podestas were involved in the same shit as him, and they got a pass, okay, which is convenient. But Flynn didn't do anything wrong. And this is what gets me is because now their whole thing is unraveling. They want to try to question these people, and I'm guessing Nadler would do it in a closed session. Would it only be Democrats? It'd be like the House impeachment bullshit where they had secret fucking things where Republicans couldn't ask questions, couldn't really be there or anything like that. It's going to be the same type of situation, and they're going to probably threaten these people behind closed doors to say one thing. I wouldn't doubt it. These circumstances are deeply troubling, Nadler wrote. Although you serve at the president's pleasure, you are also charged with the impartial administration of our laws. In turn, the House Judiciary Committee is charged with holding you to that responsibility. Actually, not really. You don't have... No. You really don't have the power you think they're, Nadler. You can call him in and question shit. You can impeach him for what he's doing, but you can't dictate. It's a separate entity from Congress that's under the purview of the president. You don't get to say shit. So blow it out your ass, Nadler. Among the officials Nadler is seeking to interview are John Durham, the U.S. Attorney from Connecticut, who was picked by Barr to review the origins of the FBI's probe of Russian interference in the 2016 election, because, yes, that whole thing scares them because they're afraid that shit's going to come out that they don't want to hear about the fact of how the left and the Democrats and Obama, during his administration, created the whole fucking sham of Russia. They're scared of that guy because he can prove he'll probably be showing proof of that. Jeff Jensen, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Missouri, who Barr selected to review Flynn's case because, they don't want, him coming out and saying, Flynn was railroaded. They rigged the shit against him. And this is based off of the fact of the ill-gotten warrants that were used with FISA bullshit lying to the FISA court. They don't want any of that coming out. So they're hoping to bring these people in and, I'm assuming, intimidate them. Robert Khuzami, the former New York-based prosecutor who oversaw the case against Trump's former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, and Richard Donahue, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, who Barr picked to review all matters related to the Ukraine scandal that led to Trump's impeachment in the House last year. See, you notice why they're picking these people, including the one from New York that's investigating Trump with the tax bullshit? Because they're hoping they'll get something from that one. Okay? Which, the investigation's been going on for how long, and it's been a nothing fucking burger. But the Ukraine scandal, they're afraid that the shit's going to come out about that's going to expose the left and the Democrats for their crooked, nasty, sleazy, criminal bullshit. All right? It's like the idea of creepy Uncle Joe bragging about the fact of, I blackmailed, the president of Ukraine to fire the prosecutor. Bragging about it, patting himself on the back. It never happened. See, they can't try to cover something like this up because if it comes out in an investigation, They can't spin it like that because it's like, oh, well, people aren't going to go watch a CFR video, so we can call it bullshit. Literally federal documents saying, yeah, this is what happened. They can't do that easily. Which I know it doesn't make any sense because both are like recorded mediums, but yeah, it's just one's easier to dismiss than the other. I don't know. This is just so sad. They're so desperate. Nadler is just like hurting. You can tell. But the most notable names on the list are 4 Stone prosecutors: Aaron Zelinsky, Adam Jed, Michael Marinato, and Jonathan Kravis. Nadler's request for access to the career line prosecutors is an unusual step intended to circumvent the Justice Department's political leadership, and one that's been viewed with caution even by Trump's political leadership, and one that has been viewed with caution by even Trump's critics. Yeah, because it's kind of fucking shady. Even if Trump's critics are going, yeah, you're being fucking shady, you might not want to do that. It goes to show how desperate Nadler is. In the latest indication that House Democrats see career employees as crucial sources of information, in an era in which Trump has directed his top political appointees to ignore House demands for information. It's, whoa. Excuse me. They said, can we have these documents? It's not demands. They request. They don't have the right to demand. They have the right to request. The president has the right to go, fuck you. And then the courts decide whether or not they get it or not. Let's be honest. Let's be accurate. Because you're not being. Democrats similarly turned to career State Department and national security officials during their impeachment investigation as central witnesses to Trump's handling of Ukraine policy. Their testimony helped form the basis of the House's charge that Trump abused his power to pressure Ukraine to aid his re-election by investigating Democrats. Which was no actual crime committed. The money was released. This is all complete horse shit. The impeachment, they blew their load early, and you still actually try to push this credible bullshit. It wasn't credible. It wasn't a valid thing. They didn't have any actual grounds to fucking impeach. Let's be honest. Nadler has asked for Barr to respond to his request by March 13th, and Barr himself is slated to testify to the committee on March 31st. It is unlikely Barr will acquiesce excuse me, to many of the committee's demands, and Nadler indicated he will be willing to negotiate terms of any of his desired interviews to allay any concerns the Justice Department might have about making its officials available to the committee. Yeah, at least Nadler learned. Oh, and what gets me is like, He ain't taking the Schiff's approach. That's what Schiff's approach, which and the House, okay, like how they did with the impeachment. He's now trying to play softball, thinking, well, yeah, we'll let you play it like, well, we'll negotiate with you, trying to make it like, well, that way, if they say no, I look like the reasonable one, when they're literally on another fishing expedition with Nadler here, hoping to find something, and they ain't going to find shit. They're hoping to push a narrative that they think will stick. It ain't going to work. They're desperate. It's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. Republicans slammed Nadler's new investigative push, noting that it occurred just 2 days after Democrats canceled a meeting on renewing pieces of a soon-to-expire surveillance program amid internal policy disagreements, which is fine by me because it affects FISA and the illegal collection of data and all that other shit. So, I should say unconstitutional. But yeah, so I'm fine with that. Let them spurg out. It's going to benefit all of us. It's not like they're intending to do that, but the Republicans want to roll some shit back because of what happened, and the Democrats don't want to do that. And if they're going to be idiots and not want to compromise on this because they want all that other shit so they can continue the shenanigans, that just means the rest of the shit's going to expire. That's fine by me. Let them be idiots. The Democrats' request today is yet another attempt to distract from the job they've failed to do, which is reform FISA and finally address the abuse that has plagued our nation over the last 3 years, said Rep. Doug Collins, the top Republican on the Judiciary Committee. The only political interference our committee should be examining is the FBI's unlawful surveillance of Carter Page and the Trump campaign, which started the whole Russia thing. And it should be investigated, but they don't want to go near it. Because they're afraid. Because they'll be exposed. They'll be like a newborn baby. They'll be out there in the elements just waiting for like some, the wolves to come circling and carry them off for dinner. Zelensky and Jed were members of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's team of prosecutors who investigated Russian interference in the 2016 election, as well as Trump's efforts to thwart the probe. Mirando and Kravis, two veteran Justice Department prosecutors, joined them in the prosecution of Stone, who was convicted last year on charges of lying to congressional investigators and threatening a witness. Now, this is what I don't get. What are the statistical odds that you have all these people involved with like Mueller and all this other shit involved with like, the prosecution of Flynn or Stone here? That should raise some major red fucking flags, because you know what? There are shit tons of fucking prosecutors in the DOJ. Shit tons. Yet conveniently, anyone associated with Trump or Trump himself pull the same exact fucking attorneys or the judge or whatever else, and they want us to believe this shit ain't rigged? This shit wasn't fucking, political? Bullshit. They really think the American people are stupid. They think we're morons. And don't get me wrong, some of us are. They just happen to be leaning left these days and love Democrat bullshit. But the rest of the country, the Trump supporters, whether they're independent or Republican, the centrists, whatever, the ones who are have woken up to what's going on, they ain't gonna buy this shit. That is just a coinky dink. Not happening. We're not doing it. But yeah, anyway, but join them in the prosecution of Stone, who was convicted last year on charges of lying to congressional investigators and threatening a witness. See, this is, if you misstate something, if you're in front of Congress and you misstate something, or you're being interviewed by the FBI, and you could remember something wrong, you could make an honest mistake. If it doesn't line up with what they believe, or what's the record or whatever else, they charge you with lying. It's a crime. You can make an honest mistake and you become a criminal. I'm not saying necessarily that's what happened with Stone, but that's how flawed things are. You should be able to lie. If you're being investigated, unless you're, say, under oath, like on the note of Congress or whatever, but you're being investigated by a flatfoot FBI, freaking like power tripping, like shipwreck, and he's trying to hang your ass. Why should you have to help him? If I want to tell that fucking asshole who's investigating me, who's trying to hang me, on the note of the legal system, if I want to tell him the sky is fucking purple, I should be able to tell him the sky is purple and not be worried about being prosecuted, because it is their job to get evidence and proof. It's not my job to fucking give it to him and incriminate myself, which is the idea of taking the fifth. You can't do that with the FBI, though. You can't say, I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment rights. And basically, if they keep pushing you, create it. Like if you said, well, fuck, you know what? They're going to keep pushing me and pushing me. I'm going to create this fantasy land, la la land, like fictitious narrative. And I'm just going to like sit there and waste their fucking time just to aggravate them. They could charge you criminally for lying to fucking the FBI for that. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. And they try to be like, they committed serious crimes. You should be able to lie to law enforcement. They can lie to you. I mean, come on now. And this idea that he threatened a witness, Stone didn't threaten a fucking witness. The witness himself said, that's the banter we've had with each other over the years. I don't feel threatened by him. But yet he got convicted of a crime when there is no victim. That makes absolutely no sense. But somehow he got convicted of the crime. Go figure. The 4 prosecutors had recommended Stone serve a 7 to 9 year jail sentence, a steep penalty that they attributed to the national security implications of his lies to Congress. Actually, no, that's not what they said. They said because he was involved in he was involved with Russia doing election fucking meddling, he should get 9 years, which he was not charged with anything like that. But they used that as the legal justification for him to get with the modifiers, the rider, whatever you want to call it there, the special circumstances with sentencing. All right. They actually used that as a reason to give him 9 fucking years. That's a complete fucking end run. They can't make a case that he conspired with Russia to manipulate the election. So they don't charge him with it. But then when it comes to sentencing for what they did charge him with, they're going to actually say, well, he has to be sentenced according to the fact that he committed this fucking crime. That's not how it works. That's how they were trying to get the 9 years. It's disgusting, too, what they did. Within hours, Trump weighed in to assail the recommended punishment, and the next day, Justice Department leaders intervened to suggest that the judge, Amy Berman Jackson, issue a lighter sentence. No, they didn't suggest to the judge. That's a complete revisionist thing. No, they pulled the sentencing recommendation that those shitbrick deep state scumbags had put in against Stone and requested a normal fucking sentence. Let's be honest here. They didn't influence the judge. They didn't go and try to put pressure on the judge, which is what you're implying here. Get bent. Which upset those prosecutors because they're like, well, we want to hang him. And Barr was like, I'm the boss, bitch. Either you do what I tell you or you can get the fuck out. And they got the fuck out. I mean, come on now. Amid the turmoil, all 4 prosecutors quit the case. Amid the turmoil. You mean when they got told that they couldn't railroad a fucking senior citizen because they didn't like his political beliefs? Let's be honest. So quit the case, and Kravis resigned his position altogether. Jackson ultimately sentenced Stone to 3 years and 4 months, and she grilled the replacement prosecutors about the chaotic departure of the original trial team. Yeah, because, that wasn't clearly a fucking, rigged, what the hell is the term I'm looking for? Show trial isn't the right word or the right term, but it's close. It was a show trial. It was the outcome had already been planned. They rigged the fucking jury. You don't think that they had a clue that the forewoman was an anti-Trump fucking psychotic? Bullshit. And the reason why she grilled those people that replaced the prosecutors is because she knows that she could go down for this shit, that shit was rigged. I mean, there's a lot of shady shit going on. She's trying to make it look like I had nothing to do with it. Bitch, you were literally the person who's like sitting there with the fucking noose wanting to hang Stone. You're the one who gagged him and made it so that, biases couldn't come out, but they still managed to because the bitch who was the forewoman, being as stupid as she was, went to CNN. In the letter of Barr, Nadler is also seeking to interview Jesse Liu, the former U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia who oversaw the Stone case, as well as all of the prosecutions that stem from Mueller's probe. Liu left her position recently and has been tapped by Trump to fill a senior Treasury Department role. But her nomination was withdrawn abruptly within days of Trump's acquittal in the Senate impeachment trial earlier this month. Her successor, interim U.S. Attorney Timothy Shea, is on Nadler's list as well. Wow, they're just casting a wide-ass fucking net here with Nadler. He is so desperate. Is he going to pull out the fucking phone book next? He's just going to start, subpoenaing anyone and everyone hoping they got dirt on fucking Trump? Oh, my God. The others include U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Pennsylvania, Scott Brady, who Barr tapped to accept information collected by Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who has been working with ousted Ukrainian prosecutors, seen widely as corrupt. That's a fucking narrative. To level corruption charges against former Vice President Joe Biden, because you're trying to discredit the prosecutors who was actually going after Hunter Biden. It wasn't Joe. We're talking about Hunter here. But you're trying to make it about creepy Uncle Joe, because the narrative is this is about going after creepy Uncle Joe. He's going to be caught in the net if this continues. But Hunter is the target of this shit. So let's be honest about that. So who has been working with prosecutors widely corrupt Vice President Joe Biden, U.S. Attorney for Utah John Huber, who was also appointed by Barr's predecessor Jeff Sessions to review the FBI's handling of the case against Hillary Clinton that was ultimately dropped. Oh, I would love that one in a public fucking hearing, because, Hillary didn't do nothing. But, she did, but you know what? She's above the law, so we're not going to prosecute. That's how that went about. I would love for him to go in front of Congress with that. I would love, but these are going to be closed door interviews. And of course, they're not going to be placed under oath so that they can lie through their teeth, so that Nadler gets stuff to go after Trump if he gets this. That's how this is going to go down. And U.S. Attorney for Northern District of Illinois, John Lausch, who was tapped by Sessions to facilitate providing sensitive Mueller-related documents to the GOP-led Congress in 2017 and 2018. Wow, he's so desperate, Nadler here. He's looking to hope to find something with someone. They ain't going to find shit. In addition to the interview requests, Nadler is seeking details about Justice Department decisions to soften its sentencing demand for Flynn and its decision to overrule a decision to relocate former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort, who is serving a prison sentence for multiple financial crimes, to Rikers Island. Where does it matter if he's serving it at Rikers Island or someplace else? Rikers Island ain't a fucking cakewalk. I wouldn't want to go and spend 10 minutes in Rikers Island, not even as a guest to visit someone. And this idea that Flynn got railroaded, maybe his sentence should be lighter. Oh no, but that would go against your bullshit narrative that you tried to push, and it's now coming back to bite you in the ass. Anyway, Nadler also indicated he has questions for DOJ about his intervention in antitrust matters that Trump has weighed in on, including a proposed Time Warner AT&T merger and a proposed Sprint T-Mobile deal. Makan Dalarim, the Assistant Attorney General in charge of the Antitrust Division, is also on Nadler's interview wish list. Basically, he wants to interview anyone and everyone. He wants to drag all these people down there, interview them behind closed doors without them under oath, hope that one of them's a Trump deranged idiot that'll lie through their fucking teeth, and they'll actually have something that they can go, let's go after Trump again. Ain't gonna happen. It's not going to happen. It's ridiculous. They're so fucking desperate. They really are. Oh, I'm glad I hit the comment button. Look at the top comment from this guy, Paul Lyons. Interviewing butthurt snowflakes seems to be the only thing the House Democrats are good at. They sure aren't doing anything to help Americans. Ha 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 ha. Oh my God. And then I love this. You get this John McCormack here, comes in, white knighting for the Democrats. Then Edward Dangle comes in and was like, bitch, why should Stone get nailed to the wall for, with an excessive sentence when others haven't? I love this. Oh, wow. Oh, God. This is so funny. You get some butthurt people, and then you get Cheryl being Trump deranged, saying, your hypocrisy showing for pointing out the fact that the Democrats are butthurt babies. This one, Nadler hasn't had any new stupid ideas, so he continues with the old stupid ideas. Please see above. I mean, this is beautiful. People are calling this shit out. You would think Politico would turn the comments off on their fucking website at this point. A lot of other lefty, run publications have, but for whatever reason, Politico hasn't yet. Oh, this one's nice. Just from the start of it. I'm going to read this last one. And then I'm going to end this video. But look at this one from Kevin Linehan. Somehow, we're told it's a random coincidence. Mueller built this team of lawyers entirely with partisan Dems. And again, we see that here. The history of all 4 of these prosecutors assigned to Stone was one of highly partisan Democrat. Is that all coincidence? It's only Democrats that are applying for jobs with the DOJ. People don't seem to understand that 2 things can both be true. Stone is a scumbag who lied in his testimony and tried to influence a witness. The prosecution was highly partisan. Well, I tend to disagree because he didn't exactly lie. He didn't really have a connection, like was really talking with fucking WikiLeaks and didn't conspire with them, which is what he was charged with. And then you got Tanya with cognitive dissonance. LOL, only moronically clueless cultists believe anything you just posted. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah. I've covered this well enough. And you gotta love it when the top comments are calling out their bullshit on an article. But anyway, I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.